So now that you guys have had the opportunity to practice with some of our vocabulary words, such as allegory, analogy, alliteration, conflict, counterargument, dramatic, all of those ones that you guys just did your TPR for, we're going to do a creative response to a video. So I'm going to show you a video of a marching band, but they're a little bit different than marching bands that maybe you guys have seen in the past, or our school's marching band even. And you guys have a prompt. You can see the instructions right in front of you, but let me just read them out loud so that you guys know exactly what is going to be expected of you. So, correctly using the vocabulary words from our current lesson, respond to the creative writing prompt below based on the video you just watched. So here's the prompt. Ready? You can go ahead and follow along on your paper. Imagine you are one of the members of the band who created the video you just saw. This band is known for its creative videos. So for the band's website, write a short description of your favorite part of this video, along with a little bit about how the band came up with the idea. Use your imagination to fill in the backstory and include details from what you just watched. So for example, I might notice that there's a lot of nature in this video. So I might relate that to the title of the song, which is going to be This Too Shall Pass. That's the title of the song. So, you know, nature changes over time. So I can make connections like that. But I want you guys to focus on using some of the vocabulary words. So I'll go ahead and put those up on the screen so that you can reference them. All right, give me a thumbs up if you think you understand those instructions. All right, great. To make sure that you guys understand the instructions, I'm going to have you paraphrase what I just said to appear. So explain to the person sitting next to you what the prompt is and what you're supposed to be writing.
So we watch the video, and then we write not a peer review. We're writing what we think was the best part of the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna be going over one another's response and taking words out of it and talking about how they were used well or could be used better.
Yeah, awesome. That was a great summary, Naomi. Good job. Yeah, you definitely want to point out your favorite part of the video, but remember, you also want to think about yourself as part of this band. So you have to come up with a creative reason for why they made this video the way that they did. So you have to pretend to be part of the band, almost like you were going to write an article about this on their website. So that's where the creativity comes in. Do you guys feel like you have a better understanding of it now?
I do not.
No? What part are you confused about?
I got that we watched the video.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
What?
Okay, well...
I was paying attention this time.
No, you're fine, you're fine. Okay, so basically, this is a very unique video. That's what I was saying at the beginning of class. And they're going to make choices that are different than what you would normally see. So I want you to pretend to be a member of this band and then explain to somebody in your writing, well, this is why we did this. And you're coming up with it. You don't have to actually know what their real reasons were. You just have to think creatively to figure it out.
Okay.
And you're going to use some of these vocabulary words that I have up on the board for you. Also, you don't need to do all of this writing while we're watching. You're going to have time afterwards to think about it. Okay, so you don't need to feel rushed, and if you want, you can just focus on watching the video and maybe just writing down little notes if that helps you. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and get started, and if you still have questions afterwards, I'll go ahead and answer them then. Now that you guys have seen the video, I want you to write about which part of it was your favorite. Remember, this is all from the perspective of somebody who's in the band. And then you're going to give an explanation for why you chose to direct the video in this way, or explain why you chose to do it outside, or with the ghillie suits, or with all the children running around. So I want you to explain to somebody who's not part of this band what the inspiration was. And I would like you to use at least, let's say, 6 of our vocabulary words. If you would like to use more than that, that's great. Okay, awesome. You guys, do you understand the instructions? All right, I'm going to correct that real quick. You guys can use between 4 and 5 vocabulary words, and I'm going to give you 10 minutes, all right? I'll put a timer up on the board so everybody can see it. Remember, if you get stuck, you can look at the handout that I gave you. It's got a picture of the video, and it also has the lyrics of the song. So feel free to underline parts of the song or circle words that you think give you a clue about the main idea of the video. You guys, a minute to finish up your thoughts. Remember, make sure you have those 4 to 5 vocabulary words. If you've got 6, even better. Okay, so now that you guys have completed your responses, I want you to read them to appear. You can leave it on the table so you guys can kind of follow along as the other person reads. But then you can swap papers, because what we're going to do is we're going to fill out a peer review form, and you're going to pick out 3 words that you think your partner used well and give an explanation, or pull out a sentence that you really like. And you're also going to find 3 points of their paper that could have been stronger. So if there's a word that they didn't use that well, or a word that could have been used a little bit differently that would have made a little bit more sense. It's possible, though, that your partner wrote a really good response and you can't find 3 things. So in which case, I would just say, ask them a question or something. But on the back of the paper, it gives you an opportunity to say what you thought was most creative about their response and why. So first, read each other your responses, and then you can go ahead and give each other some peer feedback. Does that make sense? Awesome.
We came up with the idea for our marching band video. We wanted a theme that conveyed solidarity and a connection with nature. We, of course, decided to film outside for the lighting, tone, and dramatic camera angles. My favorite part is when the first set of band members hiding in the grass comes out.
People first hopped out of the grass in the ghillie suits. We were inspired to make this video because we wanted to be dramatic and create a bunch of fake symbolism.
Ooh.
There is no universal thing. We just made it up as we went along. We wanted little dialogue to make it look like it was a metaphor, but it was not. Its whole purpose was to mess with people. Alright, for words that you used well, I chose dramatic, because it was well placed and it makes sense. For words you did not use well, words that could have been used better, point of view. The way you used it makes absolutely no sense. Nature doesn't have a point of view. Lol. And for the part of your story that I found the most creative was your choice to use the word solidarity, because it is not very common.
Okay. So the words that I picked that you used well were universal and theme, and you used them together. And I thought they were used well together to convey your overarching idea of, to convey the idea of an overarching idea. And the word I thought you could have used better was metaphor, because the way that you used it can kind of work, but it seemed like you were kind of looking for a more appropriate word in that context. So the part that I found most creative was the part where you interpreted the whole video as simply a way to mess with people.